What's up YouTube, Awesome Yuga here, and today I'm here with a bit of a discussion on the upcoming ban list and my thoughts on it. So what I think is going to get hit and maybe some things that are going to come are going to be coming off the list. Now keep in mind that this isn't like a wish list, which would be a bit different, but this is more like a realistic approach to what's going to get hit and what cards might come off. Now I don't think we'll be getting like a really big list. I'm thinking some minor changes, and then we'll be getting like one or maybe two banned cards back, and then of course some other cards are going to be shifted off the list. You know, cards that are at 2 will be getting at 3, so they can come off the list in its entirety. But yeah, I'll go into that a bit later on. I have the ban list here on my phone. But first I'll be going into what I think is going to be hit, what hasn't been hit, so what's not on the list yet. So to get to that point, you first have to look at what are the decks right now. Pretty much these 7 right here, and then you have some other more rogue decks. For right now you have Cyframe, Ritual Beast, which is still somewhat of a good deck. You have some other decks that you know, get a top or whatever here and there, but anything besides what's laying here I don't think will be hit at all. And to be realistic, you know, you have to go with that as well. Ritual Beasts aren't going to be hit. You know, they might be hit in some side manner when, for example, at some point Emerging Teleport might get hit, which I don't think will be hit right now, but you know, cards like that at some point might hit those decks indirectly, but not a direct hit at least. Cyframes definitely not, since they're way too new and they're not that good in my opinion. So these are the decks right now that could be hit. Now I'm not saying everything here is going to be hit. For example, Cosmo won't be hit in it at all. I mean, they're still getting that support, so you can just cross off this right away. This won't be touched at all. Now first let me go into Satellite. Since Satellite did win Worlds, usually what Konami does is when a deck wins Worlds, it's going to be destroyed. Now Satellite hasn't really done anything besides Worlds. Now at Worlds they were the best deck, to be fair, but that's pretty much because all other things with the combined list were just hit too much. Now I don't think Satellite needs to be hit at all, since they will be power creeped out with the coming of Magic Specters and the Monarchs. You won't see any Tellarknights, but they might be hit. I'm not sure. It's like a 50-50 here, because like I said, historically they will be hit because of how Konami works. But I feel like at this point they've become more mature with the ban list, and they might just, you know, don't touch it. But if they will be touched, I'm looking at Altair being put at 1 and Telenov Alpha at 2, and that's a worst case scenario, to be honest. They won't be destroyed like Infernities, for example, were at some points, and Dragon Rulers, for example. That's definitely not going to happen. But Altair at 1, Telenova Alpha at 2 will make the deck a lot slower, a lot less, not really consistent, because you do still have the access, but you know, just it'll weaken the deck to a point where you won't see it again. Like topping or winning anything, you know. Also for the world list, you know, it won't be that great of a deck under a world's list at that point. So we might see that in Tellers. Now I have some other decks right here. Honestly, these 3 are the big 3. Shadow, Burning Abyss, and Necros. Now we did see Invernity win YCS Dallas, I believe, undefeated, 16-0. Infernity aren't going to get hit either, and at some point people might have said, well, Infernity might have gotten more indirect support, you know, for example, Monster Gate being put at 2. Now I don't actually see this happening anymore because of that, because Infernity has Infernoid, of course, I'm sorry, Infernoid, because Infernoid has been doing relatively well over some regionals as well. So they might not be getting any more support off the ban list, you know. But they definitely won't be hit. You won't see like a hit on Reasoning or what else you have, you know, like Decathlon or Antra or Atondel or whatever. You definitely won't be seeing any direct hits to Infernoid, nor do I think they'll get an indirect hit on like like I said, like a reasoning, or a reasoning would be quite directed, but like a Galaxy Cyclone or what else have you. You won't be seeing any hits on Infernoid either. Clifford has been hit enough. Scout to sacrifice one has been good. Has been a good hit on some previous lists. Maybe you can go with the hit on tower. I don't think they will. I don't think they should either. So Clifford is fine in my opinion as well. So we've covered these four. Let's go on to the irrelevant three. Burning Abyss has been topping a lot still, has been going for a year, and I feel like even though right now these two might be better, they might still hit something in Burning Abyss. Of course, the tins have been sold, so you might see a Sir being put at 1, or maybe a hit to Dante like to 2. I feel they would be going somewhat in the direction of ARG. I don't think they'll, like randomly hit Graph. Sir's definitely the thing to hit. Maybe Fire Lake, even though people aren't even running that, but that would be like a hit Konami would do. Or you're not even using that card, well then let's hit that, and we hit Burning Abyss, but we didn't really. Because like I said, you have to keep in mind, all these decks are going to be power creeped out at some point relatively soon. Magic Spectres and the Monarchs are really good decks, and if you would be hitting these decks too hard, if you want to let's just hit Necros, so as Talonites are going to be as good or even better than Necros, then these decks have no chance to compete with Magic Spectres or Monarchs when they come out. So that's definitely not something that would happen. So in Burning Abyss, we might see like Sir put to 1. Honestly, that's probably the only hit I would do myself. You don't want to hit this deck too much. It's not, it's annoying deck to play against, but it's not that powerful anymore. With some other stuff we've been getting, with the Monarchs being able to drop Majesty's Fiend at that point, when they come out, just a lot of soft lock cards for Burning Abyss as well. I don't feel like this is going to be hit that hard. Then Shaddoll. Now Shaddoll has been definitely seen an increase in power thanks to Instant Fusion, or Norden pretty much, thanks to Norden and the Clowns. So I feel like Shaddolls are going to be hit. I don't really like that because I like Shaddolls, but it's not too bad of a thing. And then honestly, the only thing I really see getting hit is just put Al Shaddoll Fusion to 1. I'll go into Instant Fusion as well right now. Instant Fusion isn't going to get hit yet. What they could be doing with Instant Fusion is put it to 1. But honestly, quite a bit of decks are only just playing the 1 Instant Fusion, or quite a bit of players, So if you put Instant Fusion to 1, it becomes more of that Saki card. And I don't really like that, so I feel like just keep it at 3, have people play their Nordens and stuff. Once again, for as of now, it's not that bad of a thing. And then maybe in an upcoming list, they can put Norden to 1, so that Instant Fusion is still a card 3. It's not as Saki, but if you were to play more Instant Fusion, they can become dead. We're not playing decks like Shaddoll. So maybe that's the way to go at that point in time. But for right now, this list, I don't see it getting hit. So for Shaddoll, honestly, I only see El Shaddoll Fusion being put to 1. And that's pretty much the only thing I see getting hit in Shaddoll at all. Now for Necros, pretty much the same thing. Unicorn to 1. That's all that I'm seeing. They want to be touching the spells because they know perfectly well that if you touch a spell, they're just going to replace it with another spell. Let's say you put Cycle to 1, or you're just going to go with 3 Kaleidoscope. At that point, you have to put Unicorn to 1, so why just not start with putting Unicorn to 1, Yes, the spells have been kind of Cycle. Mostly have been gaining some power, even though they lost Shard with the Clowns, with Trick Clown, being able to cycle for a Unicorn, bring back your Clown, and then overlaying for a rank 4. Also, Necros has been gaining a bit of power thanks to Instant Fusion, but yeah, it's this Unicorn would be a good hit. You're putting Unicorn 1 in the consistency again in the rank 4 spamming ability of Necros. And I feel like putting that to 1, especially with the new sets coming out, that will be plenty of a hit. And I never liked it when Konami was just killing decks, with windups back in the day, just putting Shark and Magician to 1, Send Mighty banned, Windup Hunter, here's still a 3, but in the OCG banned. That's just, I don't like that. Just let the people that invested in these decks have decks to play with. Now they don't have to continue being the best deck, of course, but like I said, you're going to solve that with the power creep. So Unicorn at 1, Sur at 1, El Shaddai Fusion at 1, not going to be touched. I'm going to go with my gut and actually say that these won't be hit too much, but if they will be hit, hardest hit I can see happening is Alter at 1 and Alpha at 2. Not going to get a hit, not going to get hit. Now, so as a total of a list, for like more degenerate cards, I don't feel like anything is going to be hit either. So for this list, cards getting hit, I'm seeing a very minor list, like maybe 7-8 cards getting hit. Now for the list as it is right now, what can I see for that? Something getting off the list. Now I'll start with, but this is wishful thinking, this is definitely not going to happen. I'll start with me wanting to get Dragon Rulers back to 1 at least, or Stratos. That's not going to happen. Now what I could see is maybe Dark Magician of Chaos coming off, but I'm not sure if they... no, I don't think we have the errata yet, so probably not. They'll probably wait with the errata to come here. But then those cards will be coming off the list at some point as well. Zen Mighty, that's definitely a card I can see coming to 1 at this point. Let's see what else. So the Windup Zen Mighty, of course, Windup Zen Carrier Zen Mighty. But otherwise, for the banned cards as of right now, I mean, you could pretty much bring back some more of the archetype cards. So you can have like Gateway, for example, come back. But I'm not all too well on the just overall degenerate cards like Monster Reborn, like Heavy Storm. I don't see Konami bringing those back since last they did with Snatch Steel didn't work out all too well for them. Raigeki wasn't that bad, honestly, so maybe they will. Then I definitely see Having Storm being the one to bring back. But with the Pendulum Scales, they're still trying to promote that. I don't see that happening. But if a more degenerate card that's banned right now would come back, I'd put my money on Heavy Storm. Now, for some cards that are limited currently, if you're going to hit this, I'd suggest Konami does is bring back a Moral Tactic 2, make Artifacts Teller a bit more of a thing, so you can compensate for your losses in that regard. Maybe like from the bad cards, Infernity Barrier can come back as well. Is that still banned? Oh, that isn't even banned, that's at 1 probably. I'm sorry. But like some of the archetype cards could come back to 1 or 2 depending on where they are at the list right now. So some Insector cards probably, for example. Thunder King can come back to 2 in my opinion. It's a degenerate card, but it helps with these overpowered decks, so you can stop them a bit more easily. Book of Moon, definitely a card I still want to see it too, but I don't see them doing that, Konami. So for some cards I actually do see come off the list, I don't know. I don't know what they'd actually bring back from 1 to 2. Maybe Solemn Warning because of the other Solemn card we're going to be getting, which is better, pretty much. So maybe they can put Solemn Warning to 2. But I don't see that. For the cards we have at 2 right now that can come up to 3, Chaos Sorcerer, definitely. That might actually be a good boost for Cosmo as well because of the darks we're getting right now, so you can go with a Chaos variant of Cosmo. So Chaos Sorcerer to 3 might be something that Konami wants to do as a financial boost, boosting the sales of Cosmo. And then Dragon Ravine, I mean, it's not doing anything at 2. That's usually how Konami's works. It's banned, put it at 1, put it at 2. If it still doesn't do anything, just get rid of it. And Dragon Ravine might be something they're going to do that with. Maybe Atlantean Dragoons, but I'm not sure if that's really wise with Instant Fusion at 2. So for now I'm going to say that won't happen. Tragodia probably, just get it off the list. Maybe Advanced Ritual Art as well, get it off the list. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I said, I don't see too much things changing. Probably a list of 20 changes at most, and then I'm talking things being put on the list, things moving on the list, and things being taken off of the list. A total of 20 cards at most. We won't be getting big lists anymore because they're doing it a bit more frequently, and right now I definitely don't see the need for it. Yes, the format is relatively stale, but that's more so because of the player base, I feel like, because there are a lot of decks that can be played, but just people are just, you know, being drawn towards these decks. Where you can see, like, if you were just playing Infernoid a month ago, it would be good at that point as well. Nothing really changed. Yeah, we got Instant Fusion, but that only made these two decks better, and yet now we see this deck. So, you know, it's to the player base as well, not just hashtag blame Konami, you know. So yeah, those are some of the changes I think will happen. Of course, I would like some other things. Definitely the archetype things that I said. I definitely would like to get some of the older archetypes back in the game. So Gateway, some Insectors, some Wind-Ups, you know, that kind of stuff. Some Dragoonides or Dragon Rulers, or whatever. That kind of stuff. Bring back some of those cards. Yeah, that's pretty much it. In the comment section down below, let me know what you think will happen. I'm especially interested to know if anyone has like a solid idea on what's going to happen on Temple Knights. Like I said, historically, it won World, so it could get smashed. But honestly, we all know that's not necessary. And I think Konami knows that as well. So I think they won't be smashing it. But like I said, in the comment section down below, let me know what you think of the ban list. Either what you think is going to happen or what you would want to happen, and I'll see you guys with the next video. And of course, I will be doing a video after the ban list as well, discussing the ban list, and then we can like recap if I had some stuff right or what I had incredibly wrong, and you know, that kind of stuff. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.